again, welcome back to Scott Wonders World. And it's, I don't know what episode it is, Dean. Do you? 12, 15, 26.
Over 10.
Over 10. When we
we've done a fair few.
Yeah, when we revisit Franziskaner, when we review... I've got Schneider voices going out tonight. Yeah, when we will go back and look at beers that we've taken a look at before, and we think that are well worth revisiting and having a little bit of a look at and seeing, A, if they're still any good, or just are they as good as we remember them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Go on.
Go on, mate. Sorry. No, go on, mate. Sorry.
I think it's from the first wave, isn't it, when this came out, or is it the second one?
I was thinking about this earlier because obviously, if we go through Tesco's and Morrisons only, and we'll sort of tunnel vision for those two, because those are the two sort of supermarkets that got into a bit of a battle between the beer drops. From my memory, I would have thought it was sort of not much of the first wave, but you had Love and Hate, which was probably the first real drop. Then we snowballed in with things like Lost Cosmonauts, and I'm trying to think what else was in that first wave. There was quite a few within that. Yes, there was a wild card beers and all sorts of bits and pieces, and probably some vocation stuff in there as well. Yeah. And then I think the second real wave, you had Cloudwater versus Brewdog, the Brewdog versus Cloudwater, and I think this one was, from my memory, and you can either agree or disagree, was Morrison's answer to the phenomenon, if you like, the supermarket phenomenon that was Brewdog versus Cloudwater.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was maybe sandwiched somewhere between the Roaster Coaster drop as well in the Modern Times.
Yeah, I think that's
somewhere maybe in between there.
So we're looking at probably, I want to say, this would have been, I know when it was actually, because I remember reviewing this when I had my tin hat on. So it was sort of just we were either just approaching COVID times or right in the middle of it. So we're looking at, was that 2021 when this came out?
21. Yeah, looking a long time ago.
Man,
I think it's the only versus beer that's still going now, then, isn't it?
Do you know what? I didn't even, when we were talking about these things, I didn't actually think this was still in the supermarket. I genuinely going to Morrisons. You know, I've got the one just up the road, the one that might as well be napalmed. Yeah. It's got nothing in it, and I pick up Franziskaner. I've said to you, I've gone over to wheat beer and sort of Weiss beer stuff, and I didn't even know that this was still in there, mate.
I had a can about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I might have messaged you on it, and I was pretty surprised by it. It was decent.
Okay.
And then you obviously suggested getting together and knocking a review out of it. So here we go.
Absolutely. So it's the Vermont Sessions, Brewdog versus Cloudwater versus Northern Monk. Slip of the tongue on that one, and they called it a Session New England IPA at 5.3, 5.2%. So
5.2,
interesting on the branding as well.
Yeah, so I think it's got
from
Simcoe, Citra, and the other one escapes me.
That's the other one. I did notice that when we first, obviously, when it first came out, I think it was £3. And we were discussing this just before we turned the camera on, mate. I paid £3.50 for this. I know you picked up yours as a part of the 4 for 3. So there is a 50p uppage in money, shall we call it?
Yeah.
It still looks nice.
Yeah, it still looks decent. Hazy, isn't it? Nice hazy colour. Yeah.
Looks nice, sort of gentle white on the top. And it still smells nice. I know the other one. Is it got Sabro in it?
I know there's coconut elements in there, so it might be Sabro, but I was thinking Citra. I know it's definitely Simcoe. It might be Centennial.
Centennial?
Well, no, Cascade it is. It's Cascade, mate.
Okay.
Yeah, Cascade.
It does have a slight sort of coconutty vibe, but for me, I'm getting loads of stone fruit, mate, for me.
Yeah, it smells good though, doesn't it? It don't smell too shabby.
You have to. It's one of those ones where you try and wind your mind back to what you had, and for me, it still smells nice. It smells fresh. It smells fruity. It smells juicy. It smells quite nice, mate. To be fair.
Yeah. Should we see what it's like then? Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
That ain't too shabby.
I don't think they've messed around with that too much, mate.
It's decent body, isn't it? On it, there's definitely got oats or wheat that's gone into it. It's decent body for the ABV.
I'm going to get my glasses out. I'm like that. See if I can read any of it. Okay, a load of old bollocks from Northern Monk.
I was going to say we'll be here all night if you read all that shit out.
Yeah, I know. Well, I was hoping it might send me to sleep. It just got about Northern Monk, and there is some tasting notes on there, but I don't really want to read that. For me, pick up loads of peach and stone fruits. There's some sort of citrus in there as well. There is a slight coconutty vibe to it. It's not huge.
Pineapple for me.
Pineapple. Yeah, I can agree with that. But it's not. There's a nice sweetness through that runs through that as well, which is, and it's quite soft in the mouth.
I've had IABV supermarket IPAs before that have had a worse body than that on it.
What was that? Jungle? Was it Jungle? No, the dancing one from London Beer Factory. What was that? Dance Juice?
Yeah. They rebrewed that, didn't they?
Yeah. Was it Dance Juice?
Yeah, Dance Juice. Yeah, and then what was the one that they sent you? They kindly sent you a can, didn't they? That was a dark beer.
Oh, that was.
They rebrewed that as well, didn't they?
Yeah, that was Big Milk Stout.
That's it. Yeah.
That was just neither big and not really a milk stout. It was like lighter fuel. It was horrendous. So there have been some absolute shockers in the supermarket releases. Let's not be honest. I mean, if you pick up anything from Tiny Rebel or Beavertown, you're going to edge in the worlds of trouble. But
that's maybe more so for Beavertown than Tiny Rebel, but it's pitiful to see such a great craft brewery from London held in high regard just slip through your fingers and just be absorbed by Heineken and just knock out fucking run-of-the-mill rubbish now, really, isn't it?
Get the bean counters involved, and then we'll just knock out any old rubbish and try and sell it. They got a place up here. I don't think we didn't go into the Lawrence Arms, which has sadly just been hit by a car. So I hope everyone's all right there. Don't wish any bad on the Lawrence Arms. But they have neck oil and that on tap in there, and it's like £5-6 a pint, and it's like. With the best will in the world, I mean it in the nicest way. You're taking the piss. It's taking the piss.
Yeah, Session IPA, isn't it? Neck oil.
Yeah, horrendous. Absolutely. And then you can. I'm absolutely staggered, in a really good way, that this is still in a supermarket, and that look, we both, as do a lot of beer reviewers, give Brewdog some shit, rightly so. For their ethical approach to how they run their business, to their quite frankly shocking quality control of their beers. That is decent.
Yeah, no issues with it at all. It's again, you take advantage of stuff like this, don't you? When it's on a 4 for free, and if you want to just buy 4 cans of that, just a session, then it's job done in my book.
Yep.
It's just a nice go-to supermarket beer.
No, you look at the you look at, and this is going to be completely off subject, but it shows where this is. When you look, and I put a post up yesterday about the absolute piss take of the triple putty that they're making you. If you wanted to buy it from them, it was 11 quid a can because you had to buy 4, so that's 44 quid. When you can get 4 for 3 on that and get however many cans, I'm going to sit and do the maths, so I'll let someone else do that for me. But I'm going to get at least 10 cans of that.
Yeah, you could have. Yeah, you need a shopping trolley anyway. Put it this way: a basket wouldn't do the job, would it? You need a trolley.
Yeah, and it's beginning to annoy me a little bit.
Yeah, I've took my foot off the brake with just buying silly price beers now. To be honest.
Well, I bought putty. I've got it down here. That comes up in my Schneider Ice review actually. So I bought that. I paid £9 a can for it. The only reason I bought that, Wanda gave me the go ahead because I drank next to nothing during January. Would I buy that yearly? Not a chance, because for me, that's a better beer.
Yeah,
and they do. You can get better double IPAs for a fraction of that money.
I mean, some of their core beers are very, very good, and I think, on the craft side of things, affordable. Something like Headband.
Yeah.
Royal Want a High Look. They rotate that one, but they're affordable IPAs. They're not these, I think my benchmark now is about £6. I think.
I'm beginning to panic if I'm paying over £6 now, because I just think Wanda's not going to eat for the rest of the week, and it's I think we're all gonna, and you can see why breweries are struggling, mate. When I want to get into that in a whole different video anyway.
I mean, that's a video on its own, isn't it, mate?
Getting back to the Vermont Sessions, D, where do you rank this on the? Where would you put this within the supermarket drop releases? Would you put it in the top 10? Craft releases. Yeah,
I'd go along that. It'd probably be sitting at the top end of 10, but it'll be in there, I think.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
With the Brewdog beers that have come out in the supermarkets, Roaster Coaster for me takes all the beating. That's just, I mean, that's a shame that's not available anymore, because that was, in my opinion, the best beer that Brewdog knocked out in the supermarket. Yeah, you said about the Cloudwater one, that was a decent collab. This one, probably third place. And then that Modern Times one, that was a bit of a car crash, wasn't it, really, that one?
Down the bottom, mate, that one.
Yeah.
Right down the bottom. And the only other one that I really enjoyed was Funk X Punk, which I thought was a great beer.
Yeah.
Again,
no longer available now, is it?
Well, I have the first interaction I ever had with you when I think you did a live stream with Christoph, and he should not be named. And I think I disagreed with. Sorry, and you just put fair dues, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I said something along the lines of, because obviously it's a sour, and it was maybe the first sort of craft sour that was put into the supermarket, and I was thinking, well, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, which it won't be, really. I mean, there are people out there that absolutely detest sour beers, and to be available in the supermarket it's only going to apply to a niche amount of people, isn't it?
And do you know what? Looking back at my comment, I completely agree with yours.
I think the other two that were on that live, I think they were all for it, and I was a little bit sort of dubious about it. But it was a good beer. But wouldn't appeal to everybody.
£5 a bottle. I think it was a 500ml, 600ml bottle. Loved it.
Five, I think. Yeah.
Big bomber of a beer, wasn't it? Absolutely brilliant beer. I bought loads of that. Absolutely loads.
You can't get bombers anymore now, can you, from Brewdog?
No, they used to do a lot of them in like Morrisons and that, didn't they? They used to do like the big bombers, and they've all
Two
gone.
for, two for a fiver. I always used to get Duopolis,
Yeah,
and
Josh, this is all right.
either two Duopolises or one of them and Punk or Dead Pony.
Yeah, Dead Pony. Yeah, there's just it's all. Well, they're just big beer. Someone called them what do they Brewweiser, like Budweiser.
Yeah,
And
in
you
a
can't
roundabout way.
disagree,
Yeah.
mate.
I mean, look at it from Martin Dickey and James Watt's point of view. It's mission accomplished, isn't it?
Well, they're everywhere, aren't they? Everywhere. Every supermarket, they have at least one row of solid Brewdog beers. So, as you say, as far as they're concerned, job done.
Yeah, it is mission accomplished, really. And whatever else that they want to dabble with, it's just something to do now, isn't it? At the end of the day.
Yeah, well, they don't need the money, do they?
Of course they don't. They're minted now.
Ending on the Vermont Sessions, Dean. For me, still an absolute belter of a beer. And well worth
no issues with that. It's decent,
even though
mate.
it's 50p dearer than it used to be, I ain't got a problem with that.
No, I think it's still, for £3.50. Don't think you can really argue with it. It's pretty. It meets all the criteria, I think.
It's either that or a can of Space Hulk. I know what I'm going for.
Space Hulk.
And on that front, we'll leave it there. Thank you so much, Dean, for joining me, mate. And
No problem, mate.
We'll catch up with what does everybody else want to see? If you've got any idea what beers you want us to take a look at, then put some comments in the comments box. Go and give my mate over here some love. Go subscribe his channel, and we'll see you very soon.
Always love working with you, Scott.
You're my only friend left, mate.